When voters go to the polls in November, they will decide the future of capital punishment in Nebraska.
Two six-letter words that both begin with R will be on the ballot, but they have vastly different meanings and might cause confusion over the death penalty. Reporter Miranda Christian spoke with the state's top election official tonight in Omaha and has the explanation. Miranda.
One of three public hearings that'll be in Nebraska was held at UNO this evening. While stories and opinions were shared, there was also the important explanation of what voters will be voting for in November.
And citizens.
November 8th, Nebraska voters will choose whether to give life to the death penalty.
We had a statute, LB 268, passed by the legislature, repealed by the governor, and then it was overridden by the legislature. And a group of citizens then created a petition drive in order to not only put it on the ballot, but to stay the effectiveness of the law.
Voters who could get lost in that now have the say over the state's death penalty law. But the law makes the language on the ballot read a little different. When you go to vote, you will see retain or repeal. If you want to keep the current law that abolished the death penalty, you need to vote for retain. If you are pro-death penalty and want to repeal the current law, then you vote repeal.
So it's a question of, do we retain that law that abolishes the death penalty, or do we repeal that?
Secretary of State John Kale says that making voters understand is important because it will affect if they vote or not come November. During the forum, both sides of the issues address their stance.
And it is about keeping an ineffective, immoral punishment in our past.
Without the death penalty, there is no certain way in Nebraska to say that somebody's not going to get out and do harm to society again.
But they're also trying to make sure the ballot is defined for voters to decide.
We are doing everything we can to let people know and understand the wording.
All of the information that we give out is if you want to keep the death penalty, you vote repeal.
This was the first of three public hearings in Nebraska, but the only one that will be in Omaha. The next one is next week in Kearney, and following that, there will be one in Lincoln on the 18th. Reporting live, I'm Miranda Christian, KMTV Action 3 News.